am Lequita Brooks, your social impact speaker and strategist. Welcome to Social Impact Sundays at 6, where we have massive social impact that leads to massive income. And today we have Janay Harden. She is breaking the mold on what social work looks like. She is the storytelling social work therapist. She has a private practice. She's looking at residuals. She's looking at royalties. She's looking at building her business in a way that aligns with her life, who she is, and also being able to support other social workers who desire to publish books and do all those things. Because guess what? Social workers are so creative. We have so many different things we've done, so many stories we can tell. We are a wealth of knowledge, and it is time for us to package that and get paid. Welcome, Janay.
Ooh, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So tell me what inspired you to become a social worker?
So, social work for me was one of those things I kind of fell into. I started out in college going to be a nurse. That didn't work out, couldn't get past chemistry. So, I said, you know what else can I go into where I don't have to take, additional classes, waste more time? And it ended up being social work. So I just seamlessly slid right into it. And since then, just the impact that it's had on my life and allowing me to tell people stories, hear their stories. And, it's just affected me in a way that it seems like this is always what I was supposed to do anyway.
It was just simply meant to be. So tell me, what are some of those areas that you worked in? Because now I know that you're dealing with storytelling, books,
Yep.
being an author, but with all social workers, there was something that we've done. Like far as when
Oh
we
my
first
goodness.
graduated with populations, I think you worked with children. Tell us more about your experience. It was
I have worked with everybody. But the good thing about it is, it's led me to be able to write about those things. So, I've worked in HIV clinics, hospitals, prisons, jails, child protective services, worst job ever, but I've done all of those different things. And, it's just led me to be able to, like I said, just bear witness to so many, different people's stories and their triumphs and, their resiliency. And so now for me to, put that into stories and be able to, tell that it's so empowering for me also as a therapist, but just as a human being.
And how are you able to make that transition? Because sometimes in social work, we feel like we have to stay boxed in, and you've worked with a lot of different populations. And now you're taking those stories and those experiences and creating, books from that. So, but what was it? What was that mindset stuff that you dealt with in order to be able to, be okay with the fact that, hey, this is possible to be a social worker. It's possible to be a successful author. It's possible to make a living off of storytelling. Like what were those mindset things that you worked through to be able to do that?
It's a series of, just little breadcrumbs that were kind of left in my life that, didn't make sense at the time, but once I, put it all together, I'm like, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. But it was just so many different, people when you're in school, they tell you, oh, social workers don't make no money. This is the life, this is just what it is. But for me, that never felt right. It didn't even sound right. So I was always looking for some sort of like part-time gig, some sort of part-time job to supplement my full-time. And, I knew my money was going to be probably after hours or those things that like I really put, a lot of emphasis in. And I started looking at a lot of different manifestation things and really, kind of learning my own strengths. And one of the main things I read was, look to the things that you would do even if you didn't get paid. Look to the things that just kind of bring you joy. And, what would you do if, someone just kind of said, like, hey, what's your thing? And I would say reading, I would say writing. So I said, you know what, I'm already good at writing anyway, and I've had so much practice working for Child Protective Services and reports, progress notes, all these different things. So, I already knew how to write for, very long periods of time. So it kind of just, seemed natural to go into the fiction world.
So tapping into your strengths and what comes natural to you. And then also like if you could do it for free, what would you do every single day? I think those are some really, really, really great tips and nuggets for people to hone in on.
Yep, yep, absolutely. And I think, just paying attention more to our strengths and those things that do light us up and make us happy. And, we're so busy all day long doing so many things, but when we really could just kind of stop and say, like, hey, what's my thing or what used to be my thing? And, can I kind of bring it into who I am today? It's so empowering when you kind of find so many different versions of yourself, and it can make you some money too. It's great.
And and it says a lot about you that even though all these external forces were saying to you, you can't make any money, it has to be this way. You were like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do or how to do it, but I know that there is more for me. So,
Mhm,
what would you say to someone who is in that position where, or even the social work student, where you
mhm.
keep hearing all this negativity about the bitter, broken, burnout social worker, and they're feeling like, oh, defeated?
Yeah,
There's no hope. Oh my gosh, this is my life. I'm doomed to be a martyr for the rest of my life. What would you
yeah.
say to them?
I would say find yourself some people who don't think like that, don't believe that, find yourself some people who are really doing some boss things, in the social work world, or even if it's, just some podcasts or different things. But, we really have to expand our minds to even believe that more is possible for us. And that really, I think, takes some guts to even think, hey, I don't want to just settle for just this one job and this one salary. And, I do want to work, but also enjoy what I'm doing. What a crazy thought. So for those students, I would definitely just say, get with the times, listen to some things, people, friends, different people, but, don't just get into a job and think this is going to be your, 30, 40-year plan. Because this is the type of job, social workers in general, we just take in so much, stuff. We have a high capacity for BS. It's just the job. It just is. And it's the fast track to burnout, going about it that way. So we always have to be ready to transition and shift ourselves and our careers and what we like and don't like.
Be ready. Be ready to transition, be ready to pivot, and be ready for your next. And it is totally okay. And someone else will take care of those clients for you.
Right, absolutely.
And what are some of those other narratives? Because I think you touched on some of the narratives earlier about, hey, we don't have to be broke social workers. What are some of those other narratives? You're like, goodbye, good riddance, forever. I
Yeah.
never want to hear from you again.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, working one job for 30, 40 plus years, that doesn't even make sense, and the social work world also, like, it's such an oxymoron because they tell us, oh, social workers don't make no money and that's just what it is. But on the other hand, they're teaching us about all these social work pioneers and these strong people who literally said, no, I don't believe that. I don't accept that. I have to make change, and they went and made change. Like, these are the social work pioneers, that they teach us about, but yet they're telling us to just accept it. Like, that literally doesn't make sense. And so for us, we have to be able to question things. Does that make sense for me? Does that make sense for the type of life that I want to live for myself? And a lot of times it doesn't even align with, who we are when we graduated versus, the person you've turned into years down the line. They don't always align. So we have to make them align.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Like, come on now, you guys are talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So if we have
absolutely.
pioneers, then guess what? Janay Harden can be a pioneer. Matter of fact, Janay Harden is a pioneer. Lequita Brooks is a pioneer. And
Yeah.
all the other amazing social workers who are like, you know what? No, we desire our more. We desire that vacation lifestyle. We desire to be able to pay for our
Right,
kids to go to
right.
college.
Yep.
We
Yep.
desire to be able to, work when we want to work and get royalties and make money in our sleep. And we
Mm-hmm.
can have all of those things.
Yep. Sure can. Sure can. Who said that? Who said that? And why do we believe it? Is the bigger question. Why do we believe it?
And I think part of it is, like you said earlier, you need to be around people
Yeah.
who don't
Yeah.
believe those outdated narratives. Because I've had social work students say to me, yeah, I've had professors or I've had individuals soon as I entered my internship, was like, hey, don't make any money. And they're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Don't do
Yep.
that to me. Last time I checked, my mortgage doesn't ask me like how many people I helped.
Yep.
No, they want money. nor does
And
my
they don't say
partner.
that to any other profession. They don't say that to anybody else, but like for us, we just have to just take it. No.
Exactly. And guess what? We're not taking it, Janay. We are trendsetters. We're pioneers. We're creating our own paths.
Yep.
And you're creating a path to support other social workers start their business with publishing. So how do you work with social workers? And what is that? Just a quick snippet on how that process looks and all
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah, typically, for me right now, I'm in private practice, so I'm also, writing in addition to that. So I really try to treat that aspect of publishing just like a real job, like I really dedicate time to it. I put, energy into it. It's not just, oh, I don't feel like writing or I don't feel like editing or I don't feel like whatever today. Like, this is my job, so I show up for it. And that's the part that I really try to teach other social workers and show them that, this is not something that we can kind of just, put some little effort into. If you want it to translate into publishing and royalties and all those different things, we need to treat it as such. So and again, these are strengths that we already have. As social workers, most of us know how to write notes and reports and different things, right? Most of us know how to, most of us, get it up in front of people and talk about something. You know what I mean? Like most of us have those things that we've been taught and ingrained for years. And so this is just now us doing it for ourselves.
Hmm. Basically taking what we already have. You what they say,
Yeah,
you do what you got to get what you want. You
yeah,
already have these skills. Why not?
and we do.
Use it in a different way. So then
Yep,
you can make money while you're sleeping.
yep, yep, yep. I love
So
it here. I do.
so how can people get in touch with you, Janay?
Yeah. So my therapy website is just my full name. It's janayharden.com. And my author website is www.nay, writes.com, naywrites.com. And that has all of my books, all of my everything, contact info, past interviews, and really just the quickest way to, get in touch and ask about your book and even just shoot off any questions. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? Like I said, these are skills that we already have, and we have to put them into practice.
Hmm. You already have it. Why not put it into practice?
Yeah.
And what would be a piece of advice that you would share with our audience?
You know what I would say? Someone told me, you have to see yourself. In order for the world to see you as real big, you got to see yourself as real big. So every day, whether it's a good writing day, bad writing, good private practice, therapy day, whatever, like I know, this is what I'm here to do. I'm doing it my way, and I see myself, as big, so the world has to follow.
See yourself first, that future self. So let's not wait until we've actually made it per
Yeah.
se, but no,
Yep.
walk in it, own it, embody it
Yep.
today and wait on it to manifest in the physical realm, but already know in the spiritual realm or whatever you believe in that it's present, it's who you are, it's who you be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of like, we become the lighthouse. We become the lighthouse. And however you choose to shine out your lighthouse, that's your thing. That's your thing.
Oh, that's powerful, Janay. You are the lighthouse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. And thank you for joining me today on Social Impact Sundays in the docuseries of the
Yes, thank
social
you
work
for having
movement.
me. Yeah, I think this is such a great platform. I was telling you earlier, but thank you for again, furthering the narrative that we don't have to be poor. We don't have to, just be degreed up with no money. Like again, who said that?
Exactly. And whoever said it, guess what? We
Yeah.
don't care. We throwing
Mm-mm,
it out with the trash
mm-mm.
like we do every week when
Yep,
the trash people
yep,
come. Okay.
yep.
Well, thank you again for joining us. I am Lequita Brooks, your social impact speaker and strategist here at Social Impact Sundays at 6. Make sure you go to the socialworkmovement.com to get support or to support. Once again, that is the socialworkmovement.com. Until next time, have an amazing day.
Thank you.